Okay. I don't think that anybody here was up at the meeting 2 weeks ago up in Mombasa, Northern Division, where Mr. Sururatu had a lot of very important things to say. Much of what he said, in essence, was that we're in a world market and we need to be competing with the rest of the world. A lot of what we're doing and a lot of the money that's being invested in what we're doing is not being expressed in productivity. So he emphasized that we need to be more productive with what we do have and what land that we are using. I also emphasized that we need to start implementing technology. We need to start making the technology work for us and innovation. So what I'm bringing forward today is both of those things. It's creative innovation and technology. Now, the resources that we have available are expressed through nature. And we as man have the ability to produce the effect that nature is producing right now, only better. So the Windrow-Turner technology is that technology. Now, if you look at nature, okay, you'll see that we have a lot of trees, and those trees are compensating for all the rainfall that we have. So it's taking the nutrients that are leached down, way down into the substrata, and it's bringing it up, okay, and it's producing leaves and pods and dead wood, all of which fall to the surface, and the bugs and the microlife break all that down so that when it rains, that cycle is continued. Okay, in essence, why don't you give me the one with the red and the graph with the red and everything? That one, yeah. Okay, so in Windrow-Turner technology, what we want to do is what nature is already doing at the surface. Okay, is we want to create a long row of material that we grind up and make into this row, and we want to be able to inject into it micronutrients and any added material that we want to put in, like biochar. Rock phosphate is another one if we're low on phosphorus, and that isn't already in the material that we're composting. And we create these long rows, and we're able to move the material from the inside to the outside while injecting our nutrients and things into it. So basically we can keep the activity within the pile quite high. And we can also maintain a temperature that is destroying the insects and the insect larvae and eggs and the live seeds. So if we have weed seeds, unwanted seeds and things, we're basically neutralizing those seeds and actually turning them into plant food. So in essence, what we're wanting to do is to, take the jungle, grind it up, and make it into plant food in a very short amount of time. We can do this if you go to crunching the numbers. Okay. If you look here, this is like our traditional root crop application on a hectare. So if you want to bring this up just a little bit for you. Okay. For a hectare, we're putting on 10 tons of poultry manure, 200 kilograms of NPK, 100 kilograms of urea, and then, of course, you've got application labor. That's not a big deal. So this is a lot of money to be investing in a hectare before you have any product. Okay. So this is, I think I did this one for ginger. It's probably the same for carrots, root crops and stuff. It's probably the high-end application. For things like lettuce and things like that, it would be less. But this is like, basically what you're looking at. You want to move that up for me? Okay? Not down? Okay. Okay. Our windrow turner, okay, will produce, finished, approximately 200 cubic meters an hour. Now this is cumulative, okay, because we have to go over the windrow once a week for 4 to 5 weeks. So cumulatively, we can produce 200 cubic meters per hour. So at 5 hours per hectare, 4 passes, 1 pass per week, 20 hours per hectare, 1,000 cubic meters gives us a layer 100 millimeters high. Breaks down to 20 hours for 2 operators, and I'm assuming we can have up to a 5-man hand crew, 20 hours. This is the price for that. And then we got 20 hours of fuel. Half of that is for our tractor, and half of that is for our excavator. 6 ton size. Okay? That comes to 1,381 Fiji. If you subtract that from what we're paying already, okay, we have $6,314 that we've saved. Now if you apply that over, move up please. If you apply that over 240 hours, we've basically compensated for the cost of our machinery in 100 or 240 hours. So today you already see I brought 2 gentlemen in here that are already organic and are just, really wanting to sink themselves into some material that's going to provide their need, where they don't have to use chemicals. There's a lot of farmers out there that would go organic if they had the opportunity and they had the vehicle to do it. Well, here's our opportunity to provide the vehicle to do it. Okay, if you want to go to the first video, this will kind of show the machinery in action. Go up here. I want you to
This on?
Yeah. See, this could be our Massey Ferguson there. Can you move that over at all? Can you move the screen over? There you go. See what it looks like on the inside? You can see it has these tines that turn the pile from the inside out. Now the materials are going to be broken down by the flail mulcher, which you'll see in the next video. These are very, very strong, very well built. We don't want any breakdowns, not in Fiji. Now this one doesn't have the 1,200 liter tank on top, and the quote that I gave includes the tank and the misters and everything, and also a row cover. So the row cover and the tank are not on here. Download. It'll take a little bit. Sometimes if you press stop, it'll fill out for you. There we go.
What is the costing of all these machines?
The cost?
Yes.
We already covered that.
No, the cost for the machines.
The machines? The windrow turner?
Yeah.
We already covered that. You weren't here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I've got the quote for you, and we can download it. Yeah.
That's when you're going to supply the machine.
Pardon?
You supply the machine.
Yeah.
You're going to bring it over.
Yeah, we're going to bring it over.
Thank you.
Okay. Try to hold your questions to the end. I'll answer all your questions.
Thank you.
This is all safety features. So if for some reason, you hit some big rocks and stuff like that, this will keep you from tearing up your drivetrain. This is running off the back of the tractor. Power take off the tractor. Like I said, this doesn't have the tank, the inoculating tank on it, but our quotes, they do. They're included in the quote.
That is already turning the compost.
Yeah, this is turning the compost from the center of the pile out, just like I showed you on the graph earlier. Okay, we're going with the entry level. So our windrows will be 1.8 meters wide, or high, I'm not sure which one. This is a different option. This is for some of the larger machines. Okay, so that is our windrow turner, and now we'll go to the video on the flail mulcher.
The video or
The second video. There we go. It should be uploading the video. There we go. Okay. This is our flail mulcher, and this is what breaks down the jungle. We want to break it down into small pieces.
So this is like the first machinery that is going to be utilized.
Yeah.
From there, and then you will use the windrow.
That's correct. That's correct. So this is breaking our jungle material down into small pieces. See, it's quite powerful. Actually, I want to talk to you later about attacking the Mykinia macarintha, the myelominate. At that location we looked at, Wayanada Research Station, and I think that'll be a real good place for us to start. The material there is a very consistent depth and in volume, so it'll give us a good idea of our volume to finished product. This is a smaller excavator than we'll probably be using. We'll probably be using like a 610. That's only about a 3 or 4 ton. That's just taking a whole tree and grinding it up. So it's not going to slow down on anything that you're going to run into in the jungle. Everything that's like larger, okay, we'll approach that from a different angle, because we can be cutting that and reducing that down either for Holgucker beds or for biochar. And that's a subject for another meeting. But we will be covering biochar today, and also the Holgucker beds will be going by an area I wanted to point out to you. The great thing about not only doing this organically, but having the opportunity to make our own plant food, instead of sending our money overseas to other entities, we're putting the money, which is much less than we normally would do for chemicals, into our own workforce. and into our own material, it's not destroying the life in the soil. It's putting life into the soil and improving the health of the soil. Okay. Hi, Phil.
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, dog test.
Say, it will be here by tomorrow.
By tomorrow?
Yeah, because we just waiting from Sugar to tell him to send it over.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome to sit in, Phil.
All right.
We're just going over the flail mulcher right now. We already covered the windrow turner. So this is where we're reducing the jungle down into small pieces so we can put it into windrows. And then we can compost it down in 4 to 5 weeks using the windrow trimmer. It's about 1/5 the cost of chemicals. It puts life into the soil. It doesn't destroy the life in the soil.
Your primary expense obviously is the machinery.
Yeah. I just covered earlier that it covers about 240 hours will actually be covered by the difference that you save.
240 hours savings?
240 hours will pay the deficit in between what you would pay for chemicals
Yeah.
and what you're investing in your own organic material would compensate in 240 hours for the machinery that you're...
Is the machinery available?
Yeah, we...
Oh, cool. I've never seen anything like that around here.
Well, hopefully you will real soon.
Yeah.
See, these excavators are actually really small, and they don't use a lot of power for what you're getting. Okay.
So you need excavator machine to attach that attachment for cutting down all those debris.
Yes. Now we already have the appropriate tractor. Your Massey Ferguson is it's a very good tractor for what we're doing. On the excavator, I would really recommend that we have our own excavator for this reason. When we order the flail mulcher, we have to have specific dimensions for the yoke where it attaches. So if we're leasing, an excavator, then we're stuck with that particular, But if we have our own excavator, it's all good. And as much as we're going to be using this, we really do need our own excavator. Not just for doing this process, but also, I was just talking with the gentleman in the back. He says, well look, he says, we've got all this acreage and stuff that we want to do organically, but it's 2 kilometers in. So if the agriculture department has an excavator, we can be helping these people to access their land. See, so having an excavator is a really good move. Okay. Why don't we go to, let's see, we did crunching my numbers. Let's see what this one has. Yeah, the quote. Okay. This is basically what we're looking at, less the shipping. The shipping's about $2,000, and I have specifics on that, and I have a shipper that's willing to handle it for us if you want it. He's willing to work with us. But this is the basic, cost of the machinery less shipping. And yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's a very good investment, and you can already see you've got people just wanting your material right now. some of the ways that I see implementing this are, number one, using our advantage of bulk and proximity. So we're creating a lot of material, but in the same area that we're growing. That's ideal. Also, we can be harvesting material and then making it available by the cubic meter. Now at $30 a cubic meter, we could be making a pretty good profit and actually paying off the machine even faster. Then there's a couple of other things. We go, well, you know, we've got these wide open fields, we really need the material, but where we're gleaning it, where we're harvesting it is a distance away. Well, over time, I think that we can actually develop a system of slurry ponds, where we actually mix it with water, and we can use a pump to create a siphon. So we can actually do a siphon assist down into areas that are many, many kilometers away and move a lot of material very quickly. So that's one. And then the other thing, of course, we could be doing teas. You know, we can be doing cold water teas, so we can actually have liquids that are more easily transported. And then, of course, if we have extra material, we can be doing not only compost food, but we can be doing planting amendments. So if we want to mix, let's say, mix biochar and rock phosphate, or maybe fish emulsion, okay, and then mix that with a soil body and have it ground up and run through a sieve, okay, then we can provide people with planting mixes, organic planting mixes. So there's many, many, many ways that we can go with it. But this is the basic. And I see the Winrow-Turner Thermometer technology as the beginning of a movement in the right direction. This can be the backbone, okay, for an earth-friendly farm outlet. Okay? This is the basic, but if you have this, then you can have things like, we can have, what is it? Oh, electric netting. Electric netting with ducts is the perfect insect control. If you have an insect problem, you put this portable electric netting, you let your ducks go in there, you don't have a problem anymore. Okay? So things like electric netting, hand implements and things that we normally don't have. The zip lines that you've seen at my facility, they're really good for things like pigs, goats, things like that, if you want to keep them in a specific area, like along the road. It's great. You put a goat onto a zip line and you keep them in a confined area. But the problem is you can't get the hardware here. We don't have the hardware here. Same thing with the rain diversion canopies. The rain diversion canopies we could be building with our own hardwoods, but we don't have the plastic, or we have to go through through Suva to get it. So we could be bringing plastic, agricultural plastic in when we bring in our Winrow-Turner. And we can be doing our own rain diversion canopies and growing huge tomatoes like I brought to you and showed you can do. 1 kilo tomatoes. We can also be doing celery. We could be doing a lot of things we normally can't get here. And they're high-end crops. Okay, for instance, almost any crop you look at, any field crop you look at here, you're getting $2 per cubic meter in a season. With the rain diversion canopy, you can be doing $20 a square meter in a half season, in 4 months. So, like the minister said, we need to be implementing the technology and the innovation in order to compete with the rest of the world. I should have said this at the beginning. Fiji's very different. We're a nation of farmers here. Most of us are farmers. A high percentage of the population, we're farmers, and we're small farmers. Okay? We're hills and valleys. Okay? But we're adopting a technology of growing things from nations where no one knows how to farm. They have huge open areas, and they're living in cities and they have to produce food for those people. Well, they're using chemical agriculture, and it's not the best method to grow food here in Fiji. Organic is the best way. And this is the game changer right here. This is the game changer. We can use this to push ourselves in the right direction, and we can start getting off all the poisons and things that we're putting into the land. Any questions?
I presume that'll work great for the trees too, right?
It works great for everything, and the health of the people that are living in the areas around where you're growing foods, and also the foods that are being produced. They don't have the chemicals on them. Here in Fiji, it's like, you spray a bunch of stuff, and then people take it home, and then maybe rinse it off with water, but a lot of the chemicals are still there.
Yeah.
So when you're seeing people with,
If you buy chemicals, you want them not to wash off with the next rain, so they're made to adhere to the veggies or the fruits or whatever it
very
is.
good point, Phil. Yeah. So, producing food without chemicals is of course the way to go, and it's going to affect the overall health of the Fijian people.
And it's what they do in Body 8 for the last million years before the last, 50 years. That's about how bad, or how long it's been really screwed up with our fertilizers.
That's right. It's very recent. So all the diseases that you're seeing, okay, like, the boils, okay, were the boils here 50 years ago?
I don't know.
I don't think they were. So we've got the boils, we've got the cancers, the tumors, we've got the neurological problems.
Heart
all
disease.
these things can directly be attributed to glyphosate and the chemicals, the petroleum-based chemicals that we're using in the soil.
So with the two machinery, they are just attachments.
They're attachments.
Yeah. Will it be able to, if we are going to do a paper for it and it's going to be approved, will it accomplish the task that you are looking at? Bringing those two, because you've only provided a quote for the two parts of
This is the quote for the machine.
the machines, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the other sheet I showed you what our labor and our fuel and everything would cost. So that needs to be
added on
added in.
into that.
But this is for the machinery, and the machinery is always going to be with us. Okay, the labor and the fuel and all those things, those will be added each time and continually.
Yeah.
Okay.
This cost is only for the machinery.
Yeah.
So like
Right. So this is like we're employing Fijians and paying them to get our plant food instead of just buying the plant food poisons from overseas and bringing it in at 5 times the cost. It's sanity. It's here for us, and we can either.
What is the payback time?
You weren't here, Phil.
No.
240 hours. 240 hours.
240 hours will.
After this cost, actually more than this cost.
240 hours of what? Growing time or
240
harvest?
hours of
Operation.
making compost, of operation, of making compost.
Okay, we'll pay the 66,000 and change.
Yeah, plus
And your other
all the
expenses.
workers, yeah. Why don't you go back to that other, this kind of breaks it down for you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see here. This is normally
So that's what you would
what
buy.
you would put on a hectare,
Okay.
okay, of traditional chemical farming.
Is a hectare 2 acres?
2.5
Two
two and a half.
acre pool.
So that's how much it would cost. Go down. Okay. 20 hours for 2 operators, 20 hours for a 5-man crew, might not even need 5 men, and 20 hours of fuel for both a tractor and an excavator. The difference, you come up, okay, the difference is right there.
Yeah.
That, applied at 240 hours, pays for this, which is the cumulative cost of the equipment, and actually your first application. So this is the amount you really want to go for right here, because this is going to cover not just the equipment, but it's going to cover the manpower, the fuel, everything, to a point where it will have paid for itself. So this is the amount you want to ask for right there. And maybe a little bit more, because we're going to run into things. You know the PG factor? 10% PG factor. Okay, because we might need safety equipment, we might need some hand tools. We're for sure going to need 18-inch chainsaw. I can tell you that right now, because if we're clearing land, we're going to have to be able to clear the big timber and break it down. Things like that. Okay, any more questions?
This will cut the cost on that one.
Cut the cost?
Cut the cost on that machinery. You're going to bring it over. What you?
I'm not going to do anything except for inform the people who have the money. And this is what I'm informing them of. This is the amount of money that you're going to need, okay, to pay for the machinery and implement the pilot program. Yeah. So it's going to implement the pilot program and pay for the machinery in 240 hours of operation. It's a win. And it's a game changer. It's a game changer. It's going to get us moving back in the other direction. We're going to open up avenues where we can start doing, like I said, farm-friendly outlets, where we can start getting materials and hardware out to people who really need the technology and the ability. You can't just say, okay, don't grow with chemicals, and don't give them a way to grow. See, we're giving them a way and a pathway that they can take. It's sustainable, it's cost-effective, and it keeps Fijians employed and healthy. Any other questions? They should come up today because we're going to be doing some traveling together, I believe. And I want to make I'd like to make a stop over at the provincial lands. Quick stop on the highway. Another quick stop just past there to look at a Semi-Singa rain diversion canopy. Take a look at the rain diversion canopy there. And then off to Coral Sun where I can do a demonstration of biochar. I've got that all prepared for you. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for dropping in. I mean, you were here anyway, right?
Yeah, came to get my dog tags, but they're not going to be here till tomorrow. So, take care.
You too.
Remember, come up anytime.
I will, Phil. I got your number now. Okay, you can cut it.